big misconception. A lot of people think, oh, no, I can't take my children to Vegas because Vegas is Sin City. All it is boobies, tits, ass, and, naked women everywhere. That's not true. Vegas actually can be family friendly, very family friendly. You gotta know where to look. One of the biggest things that is offensive to people is at night and during the day, but more at night. After about 7 o'clock at night, when you walk in, they have all the people out there who have the cards with the telephone numbers and pictures of the prostitutes that you can dial. And they'll sit there and they'll hand them to anybody, and they try to get your attention. They're everywhere. So that, yeah, I mean, if you have a kid that likes to grab stuff, they're going to grab, like, a whole bunch of naked lady pictures, and, you got to watch out for that. But, you can walk through the casinos and not even have to worry about going out on the strip, or you just tell your kids, ignore the people. They're normally wearing, like, neon-colored shirts, and they all are, they're all Hispanic. I've never seen one that's not Hispanic. And they're all out there with the cards, and they, like, whap them on their hands to get your attention, and then try to hand them to you. And a lot of people ignore them or throw them on the ground. There was one time that I saw this guy walking through, and, I mean, he had, like, a shopping bag, and he's, like he was trick-or-treating, like, put more in, give me more. And he was taking all of them, but, otherwise, most people ignore them or throw the things away. If they try to hand it to you, just walk past them. They're not going to shove it in your shirt or anything, just... But there is a lot of things to do in Vegas that is family friendly. You cannot take your kids on the gaming floor. A lot of people think that you can. You can't. Although, I completely disagree with this, but there are some people, like mothers, who have their newborn babies in strollers, and they'll be sitting there at the machines, playing away and rocking their baby in the stroller back and forth while they're playing. Brand new baby. And for some reason they let them do that, but you can't take, children that are actually, like, coherent, I guess, on the floors. But they have walkways around it or in between it and stuff, so it's not like you can't walk. You have to walk all the way around. They have walkways, but they'll watch you to make sure that you don't drag your kid off to play, Kitty Glitter or Zeus or something like that on the machines. Big misconception here. If you think that you can take your child to Vegas, give them $100 to go play in the arcade, and that'll occupy them all day, you are sadly mistaken. $100 in the arcades there, and we're talking, this is 8 years ago, this experience, but $100 in a casino will maybe last an hour to an hour and a half. So $100 for your kid to go play in the casino, arcade, sorry. You're not going to get much time, because we all know how much time flies when you're playing, a machine that you enjoy. Next thing you know, it's daylight, and you're like, oh, crap. So don't think that you can hand your kid $100 to go play in the arcade, and that's going to occupy them all day. This is not a slot machine. They don't play a machine and get tokens back. They put the tokens in the machine, and the tokens are gone. So, and yelling at your kid for not making $100 in an arcade last is pointless, because parents aren't going to do that. They're going to be like, $100, why would I put that in the arcade? I'm going to put that in a slot machine. But I'm serious. I mean, if anybody really wants to put it to the test, take $100 into an arcade. See how long you're entertained. And that's with an adult mindset of, I got to economize and try to make this last. You can't make it last that long. So don't think that you can do that. There is, however, a GameWorks right underneath the Coca-Cola factory that is next to MGM Grand. That place you can go into and you pay for the whole day unlimited gameplay. Or you fill up a card and, it goes from there. But that is the best thing to do. If you want to drop your kids off at Adventure Dome or whatever, go for it. But, the arcades, it doesn't matter how big the arcade is. The bigger the arcade, the faster the money's going to go. But Circus has a humongous arcade for a reason. Because I really feel that at Circus, their arcade makes more money than the slot machines. I really do. Because I've never seen money fly that fast. You know, you'll have kids with multiple $100 bills changing out for tokens every 2 seconds. It's crazy. So don't think that that's going to occupy them. Oh, we'll just give them money for the arcade. It will fly by, and you're going to be spending probably $1,000 a day per child for them to play in the arcade all day. It's not worth it. So if you're going to Vegas with children, maybe drop them off at GameWorks for half a day, but spend time with your children. If you don't want to have to pay attention to your child and expect them to go occupy themselves in an arcade, don't go to Vegas with them. Leave them home and have somebody watch them. They will probably have more fun. Being completely honest here. And eating at the places in Vegas for a family of 4 versus just a party of 2, again, it's a fortune. So it's family friendly in an essence of we want to go and spend all this time together seeing all the cool sights. But if you think that it's family friendly, meaning you can take your kids and drop them off somewhere and they'll be occupied with $200, no, that's not going to happen. It will not happen. So don't try to do that, because then you're just going to get mad because the kids can't occupy themselves, but you should have known better. So either spend the time with your children or don't go with your kids. Go by yourselves, have somebody else watch your kids, because it's not like that. Even 14, 15, 16-year-olds have a hard time spending all day in an arcade because you have to feed money into the thing. It's easier if you have a 16-year-old that likes to play PS3 or something, but you can't leave him home because you don't trust him, blah, blah, blah. Let him take his PS3 and plug it into the TV in the room. They probably won't even know that you've left. But otherwise, it's hard for anybody under the age of 21 to really, 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 really occupy themselves by themselves without the parents, and the parents are off partying. You just got to be a parent. You got to suck it up and be a parent, and you got to either spend the time with your kids or just don't take them. They can go when they're old enough, you know. Security on the strip. Do not walk off the strip. And that is the long and short of it. Do not walk off of the strip. If you see an area that there's not people really walking through, don't go in there. Don't even take a back alley to try to find a quick shortcut. 5 feet off of the sidewalk of the main strip could be everything in your pockets. It's crazy. On the strip, you're okay. You know, you don't have to worry about anything. You can go there and have a great time and be drunk off your ass and just party, 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 as long as you stay on the strip. But don't walk off the strip. If somebody says, oh, there's a really cool place that's 1 block back, I'm good. Or take a taxi there. Don't ever walk off the strip. I mean, I'm not even joking. Don't ever walk off the strip. Also, there are a lot of people begging for money. It's a warm environment, warm all year round, so there's a lot of homeless people here and there. If you have somebody walk up to you, there's 2 main things that happen in Vegas. If you have somebody walk up to you and they say, one of the biggest ones is, do you have $1 or 2 that I could go buy a cheeseburger from McDonald's with? You know, they'll ask you for it. What they're trying to do is they're trying to get you to take your wallet out of your purse or all of your money out of wherever it is, and they will take it and run, because there's so many people on the strip, they can beep, 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 and be gone, and they know the back alleys, and boom, money's gone. Fastest way to figure out if these people are real or not is if they ask you for $1 or 2 for a cheeseburger and you really feel bad for them, then tell them, yeah, I'll go buy you a cheeseburger. You'll find out real quick if they really want a cheeseburger or if they want your money. Because, I mean, my dad had somebody tell him to F off when he's like, no, but I'll buy you a cheeseburger. And the guy's like, F off. Walked away. So, watch out for that. Watch out for the people that are asking you for something and you have to take your wallet out for anything, or pretty much show them where you stash your money. All in all, if they're alive and breathing, I wouldn't give them money, because a lot of them are just there to try to get an easy way out. There are some genuinely homeless people, and if they say something like that and you say, and you feel like you should charitize them or whatever, then, you know, say, I'll buy you a cheeseburger. And they'll take it. If they really are that hungry, they'll be like, thank you. But 99% of them don't really want that cheeseburger. They want your money. So be careful. Other one is there are people that will purposely walk about 100 feet radius back and forth on the strip, waiting for people to ask them to take their picture. They're waiting for you to hand them either your phone or your camera. The minute they get it and you pose, boom, again, gone. You're not going to get it back. These people know the fastest routes out of there. You don't really know where you are. It's gone. So there are multitudes of people who are walking back and forth on the strip, about 100, 200 feet back and forth, just waiting for somebody to do that. Also, if you see the people dressed up in costumes, and you want to take your picture with them, they'll let you take your picture with them, and then they'll tell you that that was $5. So, I mean, if you see somebody in a SpongeBob costume, let your inner child be suppressed. Don't take a picture with the guy in the Spider-Man or SpongeBob or Batman costume. They are only there to try to get people to take pictures with them so they can charge them money. And then they'll harass the shit out of you if you walk away. And I have actually seen one of them get a police officer to come over, and the police officer came over and they're like, oh, you know, this person owes me money, and the police officer actually had to, like, tell the person to pay them money. So, you know, again, just let your inner child be suppressed. Don't take a picture with the person in the costume. You know, if you really want to, go to the store, buy a costume for $5, have somebody that you know put it on, take a picture with them. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Trust me. But just, they'll harass you for money. And I have seen it too, where somebody was like, no, and they walked away. An hour or two later, they were walking back on the strip, and this person just started going apeshit on them and started harassing them again. And, you know, it's just something that you don't need. Me, personally, I can, you know, I've got freaking stone skin, so I don't even care. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. But some people get really pissy when people harass them, and that's why they do it, because they know a lot of people don't have a tolerance for it, and so they'll finally just cave and give them money. Whatever. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about is weddings in Vegas. And I'm only saying this because I have experience with it. Not necessarily getting married. I'm not getting married for a month in Vegas, but everything is already taken care of. But a lot of people think, oh, the cheapest thing to do is just go to Vegas, we'll call one of those stupid little chapel thingies, and it'll be cheap. What you don't know is that when you do the chapel thing, they're like, yeah, it's $350 for the ceremony. And you're like, sweet, that's cheap. They'll charge you for everything else. You owe the minister, you owe the taxi driver or the limo driver, you owe all of these little fees that actually make it go up above $600 or more. Cheapest thing to do is to have a very small private ceremony in one of the casinos. I've priced them all out. It, in the long run, is cheaper to do a wedding at one of the small chapels in the casinos. Because they'll provide you with flowers, corsages, you know, wedding music, the minister, all that. The only other thing that you have to do is you have to go get your license. And a lot of them are like, oh yeah, we'll have a limo that's going to drive you to the license bureau. The License Bureau is a mile past the Wynn. It's a $10 taxi ride, probably both ways. Okay, combined. So, and then, the limo driver's like, well, it wasn't really included. You have to tip the limo driver for taking you. And minimum tip normally for a limo driver is $50. So, don't do it. The cheapest thing to do is to contact one of the casinos, tell them that you just want a small little thing, and they will give you a package that includes everything, and you won't have any stupid little fees included. So, I'm hearing a noise. That's the long and short of it. So, again, this is just pretty much a guide from somebody who has been to Vegas ridiculous amounts of times and seen the majority of what's going on. And knows a lot about the rooms and history, stuff like that. The only other thing is that the shows, I've pretty much seen all the shows. Cirque du Soleils are good. They're always good. It just depends on what you like. If you like a lot of action, Ka. You have to see Ka. If you like to laugh but have things be, a little bit more on the adult side and not so childish, Zumanity. If you like things to be a little macabre, Zarkana. I will say Believe with Chris Angel is horrible. It is one of the worst shows. If you like Beatles, then see Love, but otherwise there's not that many stunts that they do. It's just pretty much like a big hippie fest, and, I don't know why, but I, am kind of anti, tie-dye, peace signs, all that stuff, just because I don't like the whole mentality of that era. It just, not my thing. So, if you like the Beatles and you like the whole peace, love, flower power, bell bottoms, bright color, in all essence, I just always say hippie stuff. But that's in my brain, that's what it pops up as. If you like that stuff, then yeah, go see Love. But otherwise, it's not that good. Blue Man Group, if you love music and you want to see a really unique show, Blue Man Group is always one of the best. I love them. It's good. It's very unique. Not one of my favorites, but it's very unique. It's very, what's the word for it? It's very elegant. I would say O is probably the most elegant and seamless Cirque du Soleil ever. They did have the Elvis one, but that one was taken out. That one was really good. If they ever bring it back and you're there, you should see it. They're bringing the Michael Jackson one out, and that one I can't wait to see. Have not seen that one, but I love Michael Jackson. I can only imagine how good that one's going to be. Mystere it's good, it's unique, but it reminds me kind of a high school play. I don't know why, but it reminds me of a high school play, but it's, it's worth seeing because it is one of the original Cirque du Soleils on the Strip. It is, I think, the longest, it was the first one there, I believe, and it's been there forever. And then the Phantom of the Opera, it just depends on how much your love for Phantom of the Opera is. I mean, if you like Phantom of the Opera a lot, it's very innovative. The show is pretty cool. They have a lot of effects and stuff that just make it a whole different experience. So it is good. But for somebody who, my entire childhood was encompassed around Phantom of the Opera, it's enough for me. I've kind of had enough of it, but it's good if you like that kind of stuff. Again, the Matt King show at Flamingo, very good. Cher, if you feel like paying out the butt to see Cher, go for it. I don't know if there's anything else that I'm I'm missing? Any of the big shows. Carrot Top is actually pretty funny. Funny. To me, Thunder from Down Under is obnoxious. It's because I'm not into that kind of stuff. Like, you know, I'm not saying that, you know, I'm a lesbian or anything like that, but I don't know. To me, the whole, like, guys tramping around. Sadie, what are you doing? The whole guys tramping around with the chiseled abs and oiled up bodies and loincloths. I find it obnoxious, so, you know, I'm not a huge fan of that kind of stuff. I did, however, see the Peep Show with Holly Madison at Planet Hollywood, and it was good. You know, if you like girls in bikinis and stuff, tramping around and stuff. I don't know, I saw it, and it was actually pretty good. And I totally sound like, you know, I'm into girls and not guys, which isn't the case. I don't know. Like, maybe it's because the accepted thing is that girls do strip shows and stuff and guys don't. Maybe that's why I find it obnoxious. I don't know. But they also have, I think it's called Bitten, is a strip show at, I think, Stratosphere. And it's vampire themed. But, you know, if you're into that kind of thing. If you're looking for a good show with naked girls that's not just a strip club and girls are on poles, you know, Peep Show is pretty good. Bitten, I've heard really good things about. I have not seen it. I've seen the girls standing outside of the theater. And, yeah, they're hot. What do you say? They're supposed to be vampires, and that's like a big thing right now. Yeah. And then Jubilee, I did see that, and that's like the typical huge showgirl feather, diamond bra, Vegas showgirl thing. That's your typical one. And from what I heard, I thought that show was going to disappear. But it's pretty good. It's very good. You know, it's not all about, like, boobies. It's like Vegas showgirl instead of, like, booby. So, yeah. It just sounds funny to me. And that's about all that I can think of. You know, the shows, I know that I've seen more shows than that. I have not ever seen Siegfried and Roy, and I know that they're not there anymore. My parents had tickets to see them the next time that they went to Vegas, and in between that time was when that accident happened, and they never got to see him. So, it's unfortunate, but I heard amazing things about that show. David Copperfield, again, I don't even know if he's even doing shows anymore, but I heard that he was pretty good too. So, yeah, I know that I know it's a 2-part video, so if you haven't seen the first part, go back and watch the first part. Unfortunately, after an hour, my camera times out and starts again. So this is the short video of the two. The other one, I know it's an hour and 15 minutes, and I apologize, but to cover everything that you should know going to Vegas, then, you know, this should help you out. Coming from somebody who's done a lot there and just kind of knows the things to do and look out for. So, I hope you got some good information, something that will at least help you. And if you have any questions, send me an email. Otherwise, I have to go. It is thunderstorming outside, so I should probably shut some of the computers down. Have a good night.